Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome into your daily read. This is going to be for Sunday, January 29th, 2023. As always, do keep in mind as we proceed, this is general for the day for all 12 signs. So just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Now, this is going to feel like a true Sunday, all right? It's going to feel quite relaxing, even if you're staying busy. But I did pre-pull three oracles from which deck was it? I can't remember the name. It's all the way over there. But we got the octopus card talking about keeping to yourself and being discreet. So there's a reminder through this card for this day specifically to stay within your lane. There's a sense of certain levels of alone time being quite beneficial. Minding your own business is also coming through. Worrying, rather better wording, aiming your focus towards oneself, whether it's self-care, relaxation, right, taking care of business. It's going to depend on your individual situation, but there's a feeling that at one, if not multiple points throughout the day, it's going to feel like you just, even if you're more so reflecting upon the past or the future, kind of wanting to have more than two hands, more than two arms. But Spirit's saying you're not Inspector Gadget, so just keep things in a realistic perspective, all right, when it comes to your expectations of oneself. But we also have the sea turtle card, slow down, be patient, and persistent. So there's a feeling that even throughout this day when you want to get stuff accomplished, there's a feeling that you do need to slow it down, all right? And not rush all the meanwhile. Coast through this day and stay grounded all the meanwhile with this, this mangrove card, again, talking about staying grounded and extending your roots and gaining stability all the meanwhile. There's a sense that you could be kind of feeling like the previous daily read for Saturday, could be thinking about your financial stability or other forms of stability in your life or lack thereof which, but I also feel like some of which drawn to the reading could at a certain point throughout the day, if not multiple points, start thinking about your roots, where you've come from, how far you've come over time up until this point. But let's continue and pull from the Mermaid Tarot and see what else we get. There could be a vibe where you're so relaxed or you're just so focused on whatever's at hand at certain points throughout the day that you're coming off a bit cold, but this could be more so speaking upon somebody else's energy around you or connected to you, or that you're wrapped up with throughout this day. But I do feel like there's a focus for a lot drawn to the reading on your physical figure, your well-being, your appearance. You could be making a change to your appearance, but I do feel like there's thoughts of how much you know, right, and how much you've yet to figure out for oneself. And I feel like there's something that you've decided to switch up in your life, or that you've decided you want to manifest, acquire, however you want to view it. And Spirit's saying you're on point with that, right? But it's going to come to be, or just, they're saying, or fall into your lap, or you'll just stumble upon it, move towards it when the time is right for you. But there's a reminder that you are in the driver's seat, all right? You're steering your own ship, and it's just at times about, all about figuring it out and just moving towards it, or just allowing it to come to be when it's meant to once again, all right? But there's a sense of something growing and thriving. It feels like there will be one, if not multiple points where you do have to take a deep breath, right? Due to whatever's affecting you in that moment, or just kind of thinking about things a little bit too much. You know, when things do slow down, there is that possibility to overthink all the meanwhile. But the King of Pentacles feeling quite connected to this mangrove card, again, talking about staying grounded in stability, because I do feel like you're thinking about, I'm hearing the finer things in life, your finances, a sense of you, while feeling quite confident either way, needing to, again, reground oneself, be one with nature if you can, if Mother Nature allows it. And just, again, I feel like a focus on your looks, but I don't feel like it's a very smiley day for the most part, or at all for some of which drawn to the reading. But you know, when you're kind of recovering, excuse me, healing, and for some even spiritually messed with all the meanwhile, it just kind of leaves you feeling quite simplistic in your emotions, right? Or just serious. Again, not very smiley. And not very energetic, even if you do feel the need to stay busy or accomplish this or that. We also have the Queen of Cups. So I feel like there's a focus on how magical you truly are, on your spirituality for some, on your caring nature, people seeing you as in a very different light than they once did, right? Focusing on thinking about people you've known up until this point, even people that don't know you personally, say they watch your YouTube channel or they invest in or just are connected to utilize your business or work with you, could be acquaintances, seeing you as somebody who's changing all the meanwhile. Why do you feel the need to do something you once did or change your appearance back to something you once had? Does that make sense? Or why do you feel drawn to one specific item or items that you once were more attached to or utilized more? There's something of the sort that's going to speak wonders in regards to what you're going through internally on a core level. And I feel like it's going to teach you something or remind you of something. Bear with me. The Ten of Cups talking about how there are thoughts and even a push to watch something, view something, research something in regards to an ideal situation for oneself, a shift in the right direction. I do feel at certain points there is a bit of a daydreamy sort of spacing out vibe about your energy being drawn to this reading, and Spirit saying that's okay, right? It's that kind of Sunday. But I feel like you need to, again, be realistic in regards to how much you accomplish throughout this day, and don't overdo it, right? Don't overexude, just be, right? There's the beauty in planning for your future. There's a beauty in reflecting simplistically and productively on the past for one, if not multiple reasons. But there's going to be certain moments throughout this day where it's going to be most beneficial and they're saying magical for you to stay or come back to the present moment, as this will just feel very refreshing, even if what's at hand isn't perfect. There's also a reminder, and I feel like some of which could have been getting this already in the previous days, so it could be a continuation of which, that the universe, Spirit can't make a situation, or where you're at, what you're wrapped up with currently, 1000% comfortable, because then you would never move, you would never upgrade, you would never migrate towards or acquire what's more so going to be beneficial for you in the long run, right? We need to keep things progressing, but do recognize or remember the beauty of which, or just the benefits, the improvement in comparison to the past, in regards to where you're at now, what you're wrapped up with now. Does that make sense? What you have at hand now, bear with me, much better than the past, right? Much more beneficial, or just it was an upgrade. But they're saying the lack of perfection or the lack of comfort at times, the difficulties, even certain obstacles, it reminds you your future is full of improvement, okay? An upgrade or multiple, once again. I feel like that was a struggle, keywording. It could be a day where, things are so slow and comfortable at certain points, and you're just healing once again that slow struggle comes to be, all right? They're saying tripping up on your words, or even you could find oneself having slow, kind of clumsy moments. But anyways, they're showing me somebody very slowly organizing something or cleaning. The Seven of Wands, because I feel like there is a feeling that you do want to keep to yourself. It might not be fully doable at certain points throughout the day. You might see this as more of a reminder to protect your energy by cleansing, meditating, steering clear of certain people, energies, or one in particular, or just migrating away from a situation, strolling away, even if that's temporary. Because I do feel like something, if not more than one thing or people, are making you a bit nervous at certain points. But I just feel like, again, you need to reground oneself. And there's just a feeling of, this is coming through now as the Seven of Swords, a bit of a discreet reminder to be discreet, right? To keep to oneself, to not update somebody super quick, right? Don't be a complete open book until you fully see something through or you figure something out for oneself. There's a feeling that you just kind of need to be strategic by keeping to oneself at least the majority of the day and surrounding it. What else do we have? The Page of Cups. I feel like there's thoughts of your childhood if you look at that imagery, or just different past versions of oneself. I'm being drawn to the hair. So there could be a switch up with your hair. It could be a focus on your hair, but I feel like your good looks are coming into play. A bit of a youthful vibe about this day at certain points, but then a reminder of how mature you truly are in comparison to the past, old versions of oneself. But look at that. Looking in the mirror, admiring one's beauty. your confidence shining. I feel like you're glowing in certain ways. But then in moments of nervousness or just things affecting you, a lack of groundedness even, it's as if you don't feel as magical or you don't feel like you're glowing, but you actually are. But I also just feel like there's certain moments of, I want to say, fantasizing, daydreaming, right? Thinking about the future and how it should be better than where you're at now, where you've been, but also just reflecting on how far you've come once again. And they're saying you're being viewed as a fish, one who just keeps swimming, one who just doesn't give up, or just when you do, you get right back to it when the time is right or when you feel stronger. This kind of day just feels very healing and very informative through it all right? I feel like my voice got quite shaky at a certain point in this reading, but Spirit's saying this might just happen to you. The Four of Pentacles talks about how throughout this day you will be pushed to, or you just will start thinking about your financial savings, where you feel within that you have control and where you feel like you don't. And I feel like this might frustrate you or just remind you of a change you desire or push you to start thinking about that all the meanwhile. But I feel as if Spirit's saying this is a day to not overspend. It's a day to take care of oneself in what feels like a free or just a simplistic manner. But it's also a day where you're meant to take it slow, take it easy, right? Coast through the day once again and dig for the inner strength when need be. And it's just a day that reminds you that you don't need to be rushing through what you feel the need to accomplish or just the days when you think about the upcoming week or so in order to see it as a successful period for oneself. It's a day where you need to reground oneself at certain points. Again, slow it down and just keep to oneself, right? I'm surprised the Hermit card didn't come out. This is once again a day that reminds you you are in the driver's seat and you're more in control than it feels at certain moments throughout this day and surrounding it, all right? So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Definitely go enjoy your Sunday, and I'll see you next time.